Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist, the weekly video where we talk about games for ages, edit out all the swearing, and then pretend we've done some work. Hitman 2 is out on PS4 on November the 13th, a game full of hilarious, creative ways to murder people. This got us thinking about single-player games that are even more fun when you play them with a friend, or vice versa, games that are fun to watch other people play. Dave's up first with this week's headliner.
Right, well, it's my very great pleasure to be leading this video this week, talking about a single-player game that actually in my life is one of the first games that I played with someone else and had a lot of fun with, and that is Hitman 2. Funnily enough, the first game that I played was Hitman Silent Assassin, the second one, the original time out, from like 2002. And I remember distinctly, it's not actually the whole game, it was the demo, because I loved this time when in my life when I played loads of games, but I played them for the 10 minutes the demo disc allowed, because I didn't have any money of my own. But me and my best friend, it was like the first Hitman game where they had ragdoll physics, and I remember that the demo was like in a sort of like a cartel kind of mansion, and we just discovered you could knock people out, and that was really funny, and then you could actually throw them downstairs, and it was hilarious, and we just tried to make a big massive pile of dead ragdoll bodies at the bottom of the stairs. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Hitman 2 2018, and actually which Holly and I played together, is the real experience that we've had that we can talk about. And what is great about this is that playing with you, Holly, actually for the first time I understood Hitman. I understood Hitman because I've been playing it wrong all these years. First of all, trying to kill everybody and throwing them down the stairs. Hitman, I think. Bear with me.
It's a really specific
I don't understand. I failed again.
I threw him down the stairs.
I think. Right, listen to my totally oh my god, Dave, that's such a crazy idea. You might just be right. Idea. Hitman isn't like a stealth game. It's actually a puzzle game. Ooh, and I'll tell you why. Because
you might have to actually.
Because
See the article.
yeah.
I think Hitman's actually a puzzle game.
Yeah, it's because I think when I think of of course it is a stealth game, but the way I'd been playing it wrong all this time is I would just slowly try and eliminate everybody. I'd get and it became very difficult with Hitman. From a couple of years ago when suddenly there were hundreds of people in the level. But originally I would just get to a place, I'd see where are all the guards, and I'd just be okay, that one wanders off around a corner, so I take him out, and then that leaves a gap, and then I can get this guy, and it's it was just how can I eventually get rid of everybody, and I'll hide them in that bin, and I'll throw that one out the window, and blah 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 blah. And playing with Holly, right, we played it at I.O. in Denmark. We were very lucky to go. And we only had, an hour and a half to make the video. Yeah. So we played for 15 minutes each before we recorded the video to try and just so we knew the controls and got an idea very quickly of the layout, and then we played the game. In my 15 minutes before we recorded the video, I think I got spotted knocking somebody out, was instantly hunted by everybody, just threw it away, picked up a gun and just started shooting everybody and thought it was hilarious. Holly, I don't know, Holly was next to me quite quietly, just getting on with things, didn't really know what she was doing. When we came to make the video, which you can see on the channel, Holly had this just godlike knowledge of everything everywhere. We were walking around and she was just piecing together. From 15 minutes, Holly had found where the pliers were, where the scissors were, where you could get glue, where you could get rat poison, all this kind of stuff. Where we would see things in the world and she'd be that's where you can use the glue, you can use the glue for that. And I'm what glue? And she's oh, I found glue. The glue, you need to get the glue. Wait, so you need to get this first. We need to get this. Listen to me, go and get that. No, not in there, round the corner. And Holly had this unbelievable knowledge of the level after 15 minutes. And I think that this is because it's a puzzle game. And I have been playing it wrong all this time. I just wasn't thinking like that. I wasn't finding these items and really thinking like, oh, what could that be used for? Or making a mental note like, this is where the glue is. Like I was just like, okay, you know, just cracking on and trying to kill everybody. And playing it with Holly completely opened my eyes, and it was just loads more fun. It was much more fun,
much fun
because we were puzzling together and like figuring out
tense.
like, you know, sometimes as well, you just need to be the vessel for the other person who just like go in there. You just need someone to take over and be like, right, just do this now. You can do it. Go around that corner now. Go. Like someone who's looking at the little radar or the mini map or something for you. It was really good fun, and it made me really want to play Hitman 2 a lot.
Same.
But also, I really kind of want to play it with you.
We should definitely do a live stream of it.
Yeah.
We'll do I'll come down and we'll do a Hitman live stream.
I think that would be fun.
I think that's the right thing to do.
So yeah, Hitman. I've always known it was better together, but I didn't know how much even better it can be together if you play it the way maybe the developers intended it.
So there are a lot of single-player games that I have played over the years, obviously, with other people in the same room. Like I've talked about it quite a lot on the channel, but my sister and I used to play games a lot together. We played a bunch of multiplayer games together, but we also played and would watch each other play single-player games, just because, as you all know, sometimes watching people play games is as fun as playing games yourself, and you can invent hilarious games to play while you're doing this. Weirdly, for some reason, I used to enjoy watching my sister playing LMA Manager, because I used to be really into LMA Manager, but I would always be Crystal Palace, who aren't very good, and it would make the game quite hard. My sister played it and she'd be Chelsea, and it was a fun thing. And we used to create like evil manager personas and
Evil manager
personas. Just come up with little punishments. We would, if a striker missed a sitter, for example, I won't go into detail with the punishments that these players would get from our evil manager personas. But
What could
they
you
were
do? LMA manager.
Oh, nothing in the game. It was like an invention in our minds.
Oh God!
It's like,
right.
you know, so.
The darkest of places, Rob's mind.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's bad. But I'm going to have to talk about a thing I have talked about before on the channel, but I'm going to have to talk about it because it's the best example I can think of this, and it is when I used to play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh God.
And either my sister would be playing it or I would be playing it, but the other one would be watching and sort of encouraging.
It's all making sense, isn't it? Like it's a family thing. Like Rob's not an isolated incident.
Encouraging the mayhem. So you may have heard me talking about the pink taxi of death, or the 50-50 taxi of death from Grand Theft Auto. San Andreas is where it originated for me, whereby you would pick someone up, you would pick a fare, and you flipped a coin, and if it was heads, you would take them to where they wanted to go, and if it was tails, you would take them somewhere else. But the way my sister and I used to play, the person who wasn't playing the game,
Right.
they were in charge of like selecting, I won't say victims, because there's a 50% chance they won't be a victim, and they'll just be a fare. So in charge of selecting the fare. So yeah, just playing that game, and it was really fun. It was just a great thing to do. Just say my sister was playing and I was watching. Just nope, not that one. Nope.
Just like thumbs down.
Nope.
Like,
Yeah. And then them, that person there, and it's a hilarious and fun way to enjoy games like that. I find is to. You create your own games within the game. We would always find a thing that we create in our minds that you couldn't actually, like the LMA Manager thing. There was no mechanics in the game to punish strikers who missed open goals, for example. But we would create these stories in our heads. And
the taxi would come and pick them up.
You sort of you project that into the game, and it elevates the game to a new level. And I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, because you can have a much different experience with a single player game if you're just playing it in your bedroom or wherever your gaming setup is, as a single player game on your own, no one else in there. But you bring someone else in, and the fun you can create knows no bounds. You know, as Dave and I found out, we were playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on the stream the other day.
That was a great
I mean,
stream, by the way, you two.
You know, I wasn't particularly imaginative. It was just like, kill that person, now kill that person, now push that person in the river.
Yeah, but it took over Dave like a spirit.
Yes,
It possessed him.
exactly.
By the end of it, Dave was just on a murdering spree and then blaming Rob. And it was like, no, Dave's doing this on his own.
If Dave was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on his own,
Oh no, nice.
on his own
cowboy in the
steam, he
West.
would be playing it slowly and deliberately and taking everything in. But you add that other person in there and all of a sudden it becomes a completely different gaming experience. It becomes,
More murder.
you know, chaotic and hilarious and then at the end you get eaten by an alligator.
That was great. So single player games that I think are better together are puzzle games. And mainly because I'm quite bad at them. So if I play with someone, I can do it.
Yeah.
But actual example is The Witness.
Oh, I love The
Which,
Witness.
like, it was
It's like a necessity almost in The Witness.
well, it's an amazing game. But yeah, you do it for the first couple and you're like, I've got this. I can see what you're teaching me mechanic. I've got this. And then you get to like the next one, you're like, no, that's it. Turn it off. Not going to do it. But we use PlayShare.
Okay.
Because like most people who've sort of grown up playing games online, I've got friends kind of all over the world, and we don't get to just hang out and see each other all the time. So playing games together is the only way we can catch up about what you've been up to, how the family are, how, you know, everything is. So me and a friend will go on party chat, and we'll be chatting like, you know, what have you been up to, how are you? And he'll boot up The Witness, and then we'll share play it to my PS4, so that I can watch him playing.
Whilst talking.
And then while we're on chat, so then we'll be doing the puzzles together. So we're not even in the same room.
You're like utilising all of the cool things the PS4 can do, Holly.
I mean, that's the point. Like, I'm just sat like in the living room. I'm like sometimes even on my Vita, and like he'll be doing a puzzle, and he's like, "Can you figure it out?" And then like together, we'll be like, "Yes. I think if you just go left, yeah, up, right now, move that one." And then he'll be like, "Yeah, no, I get it now." And then we'll finish puzzles together.
It's
It's
very
just so
good.
nice.
I actually had to play The Witness by myself.
I say I couldn't do that.
Dave doesn't have any friends.
But also I didn't
Well.
need any because I was so smart. I haven't finished it. It's
My
such a
friend-
good game though.
This guy platinumed it.
Wow.
Like
with
he's
your
just-
help.
with a little bit of my help. I mean, I'm literally zero credit. Like I probably helped. He would have figured that puzzle out without me. He was platinuming the game without me.
I do remember a bit where I had to get my wife to
Yeah.
literally. There's the symmetry puzzles, aren't there? Like the first kind of puzzle.
Oh,
you do.
yeah, well, if you
And
go that
towards
way.
the end, I can't remember exactly what happens, but aren't there ones where the line you're drawing becomes invisible, or the line on the
Yeah.
Oh, God, I
opposite?
can't
Yeah,
remember.
that's right.
And I had to get my wife to stand by the TV and, like, with her finger, draw the line where the invisible line was going, so I could solve the puzzle.
See?
And it's just great.
And that's exactly what kind of we could do together, but we didn't have to be in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a single player game that you just enjoyed. And like I remember at one point being like, I think I was going out, so I was like painting my nails and watching him play The Witness while we were chatting. Because I've got a wireless headset anyway, so I can just get up and wander around my room. I could even like wander to the kitchen.
This is like an advert.
You're like
isn't
Mrs.
it?
Technology.
It's almost like I work on a PlayStation channel.
It's like
And
that.
my life is surrounded by PlayStation.
Yeah.
That was the glories of share play. It just all of a sudden meant that single player games could be enjoyed with a friend. And we didn't have to be together. Like, we could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
That is
Like,
cool.
I play Destiny with them. Like, so they're my normal, like, chat people. But
Yeah.
yeah. The Witness. I can't play it. I need help.
It's really hard, isn't it?
All puzzle games. I suck at all of them. I do my brain's a bit broken. It won't see the puzzle.
Or do words.
Do the words.
So, a single player game which I have actually never played, I don't think, but I was in the room while Rob played it, was at Fond Memories, because it was Far Cry 3, and it was a video that we made. This was 6 years ago, and it's a video that was one of our...
the first videos.
One of our first quite successful videos, if I remember.
Yeah, that people actually watched was what, and I rewatched it for this, and it's quite different to how we are now. We're really quiet, Rob. We're just like we're just sort of chatting and just
You're not upset anyone.
having fun. No, exactly. Yeah, I guess it's nice that we've learned something, even if the only thing I've learned over the last 6 years is to be slightly louder.
You are still,
Hi, welcome!
Yeah,
you are
exactly.
still quite quiet, to be honest.
It's your boy.
Out of all of us.
I'm considered. So, and the reason it was fun was it was like a classic kind of single player thing where I basically came with a list of things that I thought you could do in the game. The idea was that Rob was going to show them to me. So we had 15 minutes and he had there was a challenge. Rob, you have to show me these things in 15 minutes. And those were kill 10 pirates, because the bad guys were pirates.
I remember you doing a really bad pirate joke and mucking it up.
I did mess it up, yeah. Dave, how do you know if you're a pirate?
You just are.
You just are. I said you just yar. Anyway, I don't know why I've retold the bad joke. Yeah, that was good. And you had to kill a shark, fly, burn something, and make me laugh. And these happen in various combinations. In the end, I also, because you were talking about this is how different videos are from back then to now. We had a big conversation in the middle about how wet it was, and Rob started talking about the fact that there was a crocodile in Westbury where he was living at the time.
Oh my god, I remember that.
The Westbury crocodile. So I also added on that you had to kill a crocodile. That's why we were looking for a crocodile at the end of the video. But it was just one of them. It was obviously a bit false because we were actually playing the game and trying to show it off on a video. But at the same time, it was there's nothing has ever gone that right for us in doing a little encapsulation of a game. I think even now it's the one we go back to. If we're trying to show something off, it's because you're kind of relying on the game to show you these things, especially an open world game. And you're always hoping that certain things will happen and you'll play it well enough. You know what I mean? Those E3 demos don't happen by accident. Yeah. But this one was, there was one part where a Jeep goes by and Rob's just I'm just going to kill these guys. And he just sort of sprays at it with a machine gun and they both fall out.
All fall out.
It's crazy.
So
it was amazing. And so it was this false but brilliant encapsulation of what playing a game with a friend is like.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was and I feel like I've played that game and I like that game, even though I never actually got time to sit down and finish the campaign or anything.
That's how good Far Cry 3 is. But also what I like about that kind of thing is it makes me think of when I was a kid and I didn't have all the games. But my friend might have a different game to me and it would be maybe a new game we were excited about. And we'd go and I'd be like, can you see your feet?
Right, yeah. Do this for me.
Do the bodies disappear? Oh,
yeah.
The body's still there.
Yeah, write a name in bullet holes on the wall.
It's the best when you just go to your friend's house and see and you test what the game can do.
Yeah, I know, yeah, exactly.
Games can do a lot more now.
Yes, I know, they take longer to test, but they're still fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. Far Cry 3. Me and Rob.
At the end was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had to wait quite a long time for that.
We were about to get that, weren't we? I think.
And the crocodile, yeah, exactly.
You had 15 minutes.
And the bonus crocodile came out and got you after you stabbed a goat in the behind.
I don't remember doing that.
Classic.
Who does?
Did you ever take somebody for a ride even though the coin had shown heads?
I'm sure we did. Because some of the pedestrians in San Andreas had a bit of sass, a bit of attitude.
Oh,
to
for
them.
God's sake!
So taking them to their actual destination, say if the coin was heads, and by accident you'd done a bit of bad driving, or
yeah,
and they'd be like, "Oh, come on, get on with it," or something like that, right? Turn around.
I'm going to take you to your ultimate destination.
Into the hills.
Up into the mountains.
Into the wild.
Smile for the camera.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You always take a picture with them before you kill them.
I'd love to find that PS2 memory card.
Oh God.
I
think the police have it now.
Just so many. I can remember the photo specifically. Just there's one photo of this guy in a taxi, then sort of walking away from the taxi, and obviously he had a PS2 face, so there's no emotion on his face, but he looked annoyed. Why am I here? And the next photo of him is just lying on the floor, blood everywhere, and the pink taxi is always in the background of these shots as well.
For God's sake.
Like a little calling card. Happy days. Right, let us know in the comments what single player games you love playing alongside a friend. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video and hit that notification bell to make sure you never miss another Tuesday checklist. See you next week.
For the players.